Hello, welcome to Healing with podcast. I am Marissa McDevitt, your host, mindset coach, mentor, and founder of Healing Center. Tired of all the BS? So was I. This podcast is my raw, unfiltered take on life, sharing my personal experiences, lessons, and healing practices that helped me break free from the cycles that no longer serve me. I'm just an average woman who decided to stop settling and start speaking up. Here we dive deep into the messy, beautiful, and sometimes painful realities of life, business, and relationships. No fluff, no judgment, just real talk, real growth, and real transformation. This is a safe space for anyone, women, men, and all the beauties in between. So who's ready to raise their standards, heal, and step into their power? Let's learn, grow, and evolve together. Now tune in and let's talk about it. Episode 22, Failure equals Success in Disguise. So if you're not failing, you're not trying. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the pathway to it. Every rejection is a redirection. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, I have failed more times than I can count. But those failures made me who I am today. Today we're going to be talking about why we must fail in order to grow, succeed, and learn. I'll share my personal failures, stories of famous people who failed their way to success, and 4 key reminders to help you embrace failure instead of fearing it. So let's get to it. Give you some personal failure stories. Let's talk about my business. Having this thought process that right when I get out of school, I'm going to launch my first program. I'm going to get 10 to 15 clients, which doesn't even seem like a lot. And in my brain, I was like, yeah, I'm going to nail it. 0. I really thought that launching my first business program, I expected instant success. And I only got crickets. Let's see. My first 3 business ideas completely flopped. Not even one sale. Even taking it way back, I got expelled from high school for fighting, and I went to get my HSED 3 times. The first 2 times I quit halfway through. The 3rd time I finally got it. But I failed twice because I quit. So failure taught me resilience. It taught me persistence. And most importantly, it taught me to believe in myself even when things seemed and looked impossible. So some famous people who failed before success. 1, have you ever heard of Colonel Sanders, KFC? Yeah. So he was rejected over 1,000 times before someone finally agreed to franchise his recipe. And guess how old he was? 65 years old when Kentucky Fried Chicken took off. So it doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter how many times you've been rejected, you keep going. Elon Musk, multiple SpaceX rockets exploded and failed before finally succeeding. So much that he went up into space, saved the astronauts that were stuck in the space station, that we know who was in office or didn't go save them, but we won't get into that. Tesla was close to bankruptcy, and now he's running multi-million, billion-dollar companies, Elon Musk. So much so that he sleeps at SpaceX a lot, or he sleeps at his warehouses that he's creating his businesses at. Dan Martell failed at multiple startups, ended up in jail as a teenager, and he rebuilt his life. Now one of the top coaches and entrepreneurs in the world, AI businesses. Mike, the situation, from Jersey Shore, Mike Sorrentino, he was rock bottom with addiction, IRS problems, and jail time. Wrote the book Reality Check to share his failures that turn into lessons. If you haven't read that book, please do it. It is so good. And go ahead and Google Mike the situation now. See how good he looks. See how his family looks. See what he's built. Kim Perrell, her book called The Mistakes That Made Me a Million. She went broke in her 20s. She built her business from her kitchen and later sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars. Dave Ramsey lost everything in bankruptcy before building one of the biggest financial education brands in the world. Look it up. Financial Peace University. On top of multiple books, I've read all of them. So that's just a few, right? There are so many books and podcasts and movies dedicated to showing us that failure is normal, necessary, and a part of the journey. Let's be real. Failure is normal. It takes people 10 plus years of consistent effort to build a multi-million, billion-dollar business. My life coaches, Aaron Doughty, Victor Odo, they put out a YouTube video every single day for years before they started getting traction. Every single day, not once a week, every single day. Constant for years. Jay Shetty, Lewis Howes, they literally have had their podcast for 10 years. They were doing podcast episodes once a week to twice a week to 3 times a week to every day for years. And look at where they are now. It takes time. That was one of my biggest mistakes, thinking that I could just buy a LLC and set up my space and have a launch party and then boom, have tons of clients. My other mistake was quitting my job, my stable job to start my business and not having the money for bills. Or going to school and taking out a bunch of loans while having a part-time job a couple days a week. Now I'm in debt. These are the failure of mindset that I just thought would go a certain way and it didn't. But you know what? If you're not failing, you're not experimenting enough. Failure is feedback, not fatality. The only true failure is quitting. Everything else is just information. So how to handle failure in a healthy way? Allow yourself to feel it. Cry, rest, take the day off. Don't skip that part. Some people skip the emotions and don't embrace what it actually feels like, heartbreak. The negative self-talk, disappointment in yourself. I can go on and on exactly how I felt. But what I realized is that you really have to allow yourself to feel and think about what just happened. So taking a day off or 2 or 3 and crying is okay. It's actually recommended. That's one way to handle failure in a healthy way. I'm going to give you 3 more. So 2, ground yourself. Go outside barefoot, walk in nature. Ooh, yes. Let's talk about Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. He was known for taking a walk outside the outside the Apple business or whatever warehouse that he was in, building. And he would walk barefoot and ground himself. And think about when he would get stuck on a problem, he would go for a walk barefoot. Grounding. My chakra grounding bell. So get out in nature. Go sit and breathe fresh air. I would sit in the grass with my dog and cry and pray. I would go outside and just be by the trees and just be like, what is going on? Why am I here? That's where the reflection questions come on. That's 3. What lesson is here? What needs adjusting? 4 is get back to the drawing board. You guys, there is always another way. There is always another way. And you know what's funny? After failing this last time, for the 15th time, I don't even know, get back to the drawing board. Give yourself time to reflect and think, right? Once you do that, Palo Santo yourself. Ring your grounding bell. I'm serious. You think I'm joking? I'm not. But there's always another way. Another thing I want to talk about is the role of healthy support. So you are who you surround yourself with. If your circle doesn't inspire you, uplift you, and hold you accountable, it's time to find a new circle. End of story. Just like this bunch of chapters I closed in Wisconsin, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to the last few episodes. Wow, did it open me up to talk to people and engage in people who actually lift me up. I'm just going to give you a few examples of healthy support I have. 1, my fiancé, Roger. Everybody knows Roger. If you haven't listened to my episodes, he is my number 1 cheerleader. He is always there for me. He's always encouraging me. Every vision I have or business idea I have, I immediately call him and I tell him all about it. And he backs me up every single time. Encourages me. Tells me that absolutely, you put your mind to it, you'll make it happen. My dad, always encouraging me. My another number 1 fan of mine, I call my dad just as much as I call my fiance. Tell my dad my business things. My dad set up my microphone, my camera. My dad is my support. He gets me all this stuff for Christmas and, encourages me and tells me to keep going, to keep trying, to do it. You know that you can do it. My life coach, Mary Hope, she's been guiding me through these challenges and growth and lessons of life for 1.5 years now. My true friends who actually lift me up, sending me text messages, reaching out to me. My sister, my twin witches. We have become more closer than we ever have in this last couple years. And I am so thankful. And she has grown so much. She just got her own house. So proud of her. Even my dog, you guys. She's got my unconditional love for me and support. Like I said, when I'm going through anything, my dog's with me all the time. So she goes with me to the park to journal. She goes with me to meditate. She does Reiki with me. I'll be dropping some videos on that in the future here too. But you are who you surround yourselves with. So please think about that. Think about who you're hanging out with. Are they lifting you up or are they draining you? 4 key reminders about failure. 1, rejection is redirection. Trust the bigger plan. 2, failure is the teacher. The lessons shape the success. 3, consistency beats the perfection. Show up daily, small steps. So important, you guys. 4, support and self-belief are non-negotiables. Surround yourself with encouragers, but always bet on you. You are the one that lifts you up. Show up for you every single day. And go day by day if you have to. I used to go months by months, half a year, full year. And after all this life lessons and journeys I just went through, it's like, I felt like Dorothy in a tornado, right? Literally. Just thought of that. Coming back, realizing like, I'm just going to go day by day and I'm showing up for me each day. I'm doing this for me, for my peace, for my health, for my success. It starts with you and believing in yourself. I believe in myself. Even if I have to go back to that freaking drawing board 17 more times, I will do it. And you can too. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning. Every time you fall, you rise stronger. Every rejection is a redirection, and the truth is, mistakes are what makes millionaires, leaders, and legends. You don't need to avoid failure. You need to embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel you. Y'all, if you're vibing with this episode, if you're feeling this, if you're understanding what it means to fail, please comment on this episode. Please comment. Tell me what your failures are. Tell me what you overcome. Tell me what you did and it failed, but how you redirected the energy to success. Share with me. Share in the comments. Share this episode. Follow me at Marissa McDevitt on Instagram. Jump on YouTube at Healing with MM at Marissa McDevitt. The affirmation I want to end on is, I do not fear failure. I welcome the lessons. I grow from the mistakes. And I trust that every rejection is guiding me closer to my purpose. And with much love, have a beautiful day.